From the very latest to the World Conference on Youth 2014 to the ousting of Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra, we have it all on this time's edition of Lunchtime News Bulletin. A very good afternoon. I'm Katharina Chang. Let's take a look at what's making headlines. 6 individuals interdicted in connection to the train incident in Alutgama. Landslide warning issued to 6 districts extended. Sri Lanka received the largest installment of ADB funds this year. A statement by Senior Minister Professor Sarath Amanugama. Indians head to the polls in the 8 of a 10-phase marathon general election. On to those stories in detail. 6 railway employees have been interdicted in connection to the train accident that occurred at the Alutgama train station. Meanwhile, Railway Operation Director L.A.R. Ratnayaka noted that a 4-member team has been appointed to carry out investigations into the incident.
General Manager of Railways BAPRA Ratna said that an investigation has been launched into the incident at department level. The driver of the fuel train, his assistant, the guard and the station master in charge of operations at the Alutgama train station have been suspended from their duties. According to the General Manager, the accident had occurred this morning when a train transporting fuel on its way from Galle collided with a power set that was parked on the same track at the Alutgama train station. He went on to say that even though there is a possibility for 2 trains to enter the same track under safety signals, 3 trains had been present on the same track at the time of the accident. BAPRA Ratna further said that preliminary investigations have revealed that the accident was not caused due to a technical fault. It has come to light that there has been no one inside the power set when the accident occurred at around 12:55 this morning. The accident has caused considerable damages to the power set as well as to the engine of the train that was transporting fuel. The accident resulted in train delays on the coastal line this morning.
According to the police, the culprits involved in the abduction of 2 police officers in Kurunegala and the subsequent murder of 1 had pumped fuel from a fuel station in Naramala and fled without paying money. The Criminal Investigation Department has commenced broad investigations into the incident. The final rights of the police constable will be held.
The remains of Constable Chandana Sampath were discovered in the Ranvan area in Kurunegala. Lead Police Constable Chandana Sampath, who was 42 years old at the time of his demise, has served in the police force for 22 years. A resident of Gokorella and a loving father of 2, Chandana Sampath was promoted to the rank of police sergeant as he died in the line of duty. The 2 police officers were abducted by an unidentified group near the Muttettigala area along the Kurunegala-Damulla main road while on duty. The unidentified group that arrived in a van had taken the 2 officers around 2 kilometers along the Kurunegala-Damulla main road and turned into a by-road in close proximity to the Badugamu reserve, which heads towards the Ranvan area. Police Constable Ajit Veerasurya, who survived this ordeal, explained the incidents that transpired to the investigation team. He is currently receiving treatment at the Kurunegala Teaching Hospital.
Senior Minister of International Monetary Cooperation, Professor Sarath Amanugama, says that Sri Lanka received the highest funding from the Asian Development Bank this time around. He made this statement upon his return to the country after attending the annual conference of the Asian Development Bank held in Kazakhstan.
We received close to $600 million, which is the largest sum of money that we have received. The money was given at a concessionary interest rate. Several development projects are underway. Projects to build new roads, improve infrastructure facilities, and we are currently holding discussions to build around 1,000 new towns. What is most important is that China will be establishing a development bank similar to the ADB, and a sum of around $50 billion has been allocated. Sri Lanka will be a member of this as well. It will be named the Asian Infrastructure Bank.
Newsfirst, English news, now on Dialogue TV, channel number 9. You could catch our primetime breakfast news at 7 a.m, lunchtime news at 12:30 p.m, and our flagship news bulletin at 9 p.m. You could also keep yourself up to date with Live at 55s and Newsfirst Plus every half an hour from 8:30 to 5:30 in the evening. Newsfirst, Sri Lanka's only international news brand.
The senior officials meeting of the Colombo Declaration, which brings together representatives of the Asian countries that supply migrant workers, commenced in Colombo yesterday. Representatives of 11 countries were present at the event, which has been dubbed the Colombo process. Countries including China, India and Afghanistan are taking part in this event.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට කොළඹ ක්‍රියාදාමයේ සභාපතිත්වය ලැබිලා තිබෙනවා.
Sri Lanka has been given the post of chair of the Colombo Declaration. The main aim of the Colombo Declaration is to sign MOUs and solve the issues faced by our brothers and sisters who seek foreign employment. We also hope to reach agreements on issues that affect all countries. The countries that accept the proposals is known as the Abu Dhabi Dialogue. With the agreement of the senior officials of the Colombo Declaration, I will attend the Abu Dhabi Dialogue on the 22nd of this month in Kuwait.
ශ්‍රීමට මම මයි 22 වෙනිදා සහභාගී වෙනවා කුවේට් වල මේ කොළඹ ක්‍රියාදාමයේ ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ නිලධාරීන්ගේ එකඟතාවයන් එක්ක.
The Ministers' Summit of the Colombo process is due to take place in Sri Lanka under the auspices of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Now, today is the second day of the World Conference on Youth. Several sessions of the conference is currently being held at the BMICH premises today. Joining us via live DG is Newsfirst Stephanie Lazarus with the very latest details.
Well, Katharina Chang, right now I'm standing at the media center established for World Conference on Youth 2014, and if I may walk you through the topics that were discussed at a few sessions were that good governance and accountability was a topic that was discussed today, and inclusive youth participation at all levels, and youth equality was some of the topics that were discussed during sessions today. And of course the main plenary on mainstreaming youth in the post-2015 agenda called Looking Back was convened with the participation of the Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Sathanum Gama, and the resident coordinator of UN Sri Lanka, Subinay Nandi, in the morning today. When I spoke to one of the main speakers at the session convened about empowering marginalized youth, Anna Mogado, she told me that some of the root causes of marginalizing youth will be tackled upon discussions at the session, and following discussions, recommendations will be put forth to formulate the Colombo Declaration at the conclusion of the World Conference on Youth 2014. Now, gender equality was also one of the plenary sessions that were convened in the vicinity today, and those topics were some of the main topics that were discussed among youth here. And well, in a nutshell, youth here at WCY 2014 are gearing up to bring change to youth policies locally and internationally. And among brainstorming and interacting with youth across the globe, youth here are trying to bring change to many policies that are being formulated. I'm Stephanie Lazarus reporting for Newsfirst.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie, for the update. She's joining us live from the BMICH. Okay, moving on to some local news. The landslide warning issued by the National Building Research Organization will be in effect until this afternoon. Assistant Director of the DMC, Pradeep Kodipilli, stated that warnings have been issued to districts of Badulla, Nuwara, Kandy, Kegol, Ratnapura and Kalutara.
NBRO has issued yesterday alert on possibility of landslide in several districts. We have disseminated that messages to particular vulnerable communities. The warning would be exist and it will be extended up to this evening. So they will be considering with the weather condition and everything, and they will now inform us in the evening. So there are no any disasters being recorded so far, but there are lots of rain occurring in some areas as per the disaster management unit, especially in Colombo area. So there are no any incidents being reported yet, but information are receiving at the moment. And spirit gates have been opened in Rajangani and some small reserves in Kurnagal district also. And all the disaster management units have been kept for 24 hours. So all the disaster management activities in the ground.
Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology states that showers or thundershowers may be experienced in a number of areas across the island.
The low pressure area to the west of Sri Lanka is moving away from Sri Lanka. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places over most parts of the island during the afternoon and night. Some showers can be expected in the western, Abraham and southern provinces in the morning too. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by lightning activities. I am Ajit Vijayamana.
A protest was staged yesterday against the removal of shops from the Aviravata area in Katunayaka.
The protesters charged that they were not properly informed to vacate the premises which had been obtained on rent. They also charged that a court case is underway to determine the ownership of the shops. These are not unauthorized constructions. These were built legally. We have been paying rent for the past 25 years. We have been receiving electricity, water and all other necessary infrastructure facilities. We have also been paying taxes.
I have been residing here for the past 26 years. I was left here alone with my daughter when she was just 2 months old. My husband put up a shop here and this is not an illegal construction. We were not informed of the demolition of the building.
When we inquired about the matter from the Katunayaka police, they note that the shops had been demolished by the Urban Development Authority based on a court order issued by the Negombo magistrate. The police noted that their only duty was to provide security detail to the complex. The shops were demolished on the 2nd of this month. According to our correspondent in the area, a jewelry store was among the demolished shops.
Chief Minister of the Uva Province Shashindra Rajapaksa says that it is everyone's responsibility to secure the country from external forces who attempt to threaten the freedom won by our war heroes. He made this statement at a ceremony to honor war heroes in Badulla. A group including a number of officials from the 3 armed forces and Governor Nanda Matthew attended the event, which was held at a memorial erected in honor of national war heroes in close proximity to the Badulla sports ground. The event commenced following religious observances. Floral tributes were also presented before the memorial.
අපේ රණවිරුවන් අපිට ගෞරවනීය නිදහසක් හිමි කරලා දුන්නා. ත්‍රස්තවාදී
Our war heroes won our freedom with honor. Our country has become the only country to eradicate terrorism. The American army who killed bin Laden became international heroes, while our war heroes became criminals for ending terrorism in order to reclaim our freedom. External forces and even certain forces within our country are trying to pull our country into darkness once again through their various schemes and plots. That is why, as citizens of this country, we have a responsibility to protect the freedom that was won for our future generation.
පරපුරටත් රැක ගැනීම තමයි අපේ ඒ වගකීම.